am Optimus Prime, and this message is to my allies. There is grave danger on the horizon. The power that once flowed through your island has faded, and formidable enemies have taken notice. You must brave the unknown. The answers you seek lie deep within the starless void that brought you here. Fight on and roll out.
There's a few things that stand out to me, right? So the first part is, well, you gotta listen to the context that Optimus is speaking in. Optimus is saying,
there is grave danger on the horizon.
There's that part.
The power that once flowed through your island has faded, and formidable enemies have taken notice.
I talked about in my one of my previous videos from last week how the power of the 0 point was going to be unstable. That's true. However, it's a bit more interesting than that. It looks like the 0 point is actually weakened. Must have taken everything it had to kind of reshape the island and seal itself within it, and then now that it's trying to basically reset itself. It's in hibernation, it's in slumber, and after everything that's happened, that kind of makes sense, right? The other thing that is intriguing to me is he's talking about formidable enemies have taken notice. Some people are theorizing that it might be the Decepticons. I've of course said it was Unicron. That would be cool. However, I don't think that's the case. I think he's actually referring to the last reality. Another interesting thing to note, let's play the next part.
The answers you seek lie deep within the starless void that brought you here.
That to me is a clear reference to the telescope that Dr. Slone is going to be trying to rebuild, right? Once she rebuilds that telescope, she'll be able to see whatever it is that's coming, approaching to us in space. There's one more thing I wanted to point out.
You must brave the unknown.
So notice how he says you must brave the unknown. This adds to the point that I brought up before, which is that Optimus is not on the island. If Optimus Prime was actually on the Fortnite Island with us, Optimus himself would have been like, we must brave the unknown. I will help you in your fight. Like that's Optimus's thing. That's always been his thing. He's probably off to fight in Decepticon somewhere. He's probably wondering where the f***'s going on with Megatron. Prime's not here. So, conclusion. Optimus is not on the island. He's probably not going to be able to help us out. As it looks like as of right now. Maybe he'll come back later with other Autobots. I'm not sure. I don't think it's Unicron. I do think that this is pointing towards the last reality. The 0 point is weakened right now. That's why it's in that petrified state, like Tedious was talking about in his video. And Optimus is telling us to look into the starless void that brought us here. We need to get that telescope up and running, and that's what Dr. Slone is currently working on. It's still very ominous, but it's building up to something really intriguing this season. They're building up a lot of stuff early on, which when they do that, that's exciting because that gives the story room to breathe and gives time to add on different elements and have different surprises and plot twists that'll pop up throughout the season. So Epic seems to be giving themselves time to really cultivate this story. This is good.
I have been in contact with the one you call Slone, and while she may be an unlikely ally, she alone knows the path forward.
I freaking called it, man. Pick up that phone. Now it sounds like Optimus might actually be corresponding with her in the present. It doesn't sound like a pre-recording, but then again, it still could be. It still could be that Optimus isn't on the island right now, and this is a pre-recorded message. So it's kind of nice that one of my theories was confirmed. Optimus being in contact with Slone. I'm pretty sure Slone has something to do with Optimus Prime being in the temple. This all but damn near confirms it. But this is cool. It's cool that Optimus actually referenced Dr. Slone directly. One thing I was thinking about, I didn't break this down in my last video, but when Slone and Optimus spent that time together in the temple, when he first showed up on the island, I think Slone gave Optimus her backstory and explained like where, like what had happened on the island before, about the 0 point, the Imagined Order. But I think Optimus actually had a little talk with Dr. Slone before he left, because this seems like a Dr. Slone redemption arc. It would be interesting if Optimus was the one who brought Slone, like he pushed her towards that journey. He said something like, Slone, it's never too late to change. There's always hope, and I see that in you. Do the right thing.
bring the island back.
You know, it's like something like I could see Optimus telling her something like that. He's like, I have to go back to Cybertron and help my men, but call me if you need anything. You know, it's like something like along those lines would be really neat. And that's what he's saying here. Like, although she seems like an unlikely ally, what did he say?
And while she may be an unlikely ally, she alone knows the path forward.
Right, she alone knows the path forward. It sounds like Optimus and Slone had a conversation. Just like it was in G1, Optimus was always like the father figure of the Autobots, right? That's why when he died in the original cartoon, little kids were crying in the movie theater. It was so bad that parents were actually writing to Hasbro, talking about how their kids were devastated. Like, there's one kid that was like locked in his room, wouldn't come out of his room because Transformers killed off Optimus Prime. I really do feel like they're kind of playing, that they might play on that with Slone. If not, that's my personal headcanon, that Optimus talked to Slone and kind of pushed her down this redemption arc. And I didn't mention this before either, the reason why it's Optimus Prime's voice on the radio and not Dr. Slone talking to us is because Slone knows that the Loopers don't trust her because of her involvement with the Imagined Order and wanting to blow up the island and wipe out all of life. She probably told Optimus this story, and Optimus was the one who said, record me, I'll leave them a message. Because Prime's got experience doing that. It just all ties together so well. I'm not just saying this because I'm a Transformers fan, I'm just saying this because it, like, narratively speaking, that just sounds so right, that Optimus would have that kind of role and play that with Slone. Optimus Prime's role this season is to repair the bridge between us and Dr. Slone. Like, yes, he's trying to warn us, but it's at the request of Dr. Slone and him knowing her backstory and him knowing that she is not trusted or respected on the island because of her past. But once again, it's a redemption arc. We'll see what happens when Jonesy comes back too. I'm curious to see how Jonesy is going to play in all this. Fortnite's building up to something big, and they're going to try to get their key players to come back.